Hi guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Karina Sky and I am a singer, songwriter. I'm also a doula and I am also a yoga instructor with more than 10 years of experience, and I teach prenatal yoga as well. And on this episode of Rocking the Pregnancy, I would like to just do a very short summary of my orgasmic natural birth experience in the hospital setting. So I did just put in practice everything that I've been teaching for many years. This is my first child, and I just gave birth to her about 18 days ago. Today is December 18, and I gave birth to her on December 1st. And she was 38 weeks and 2 days. And this was our third pregnancy. I had 2 miscarriages before. And it was actually a very easy pregnancy, but it was very concerning because I was diagnosed with IUGR, which is intrauterine growth restriction. So I was being monitored the entire pregnancy, and the baby was not growing as this scale as the norms for a baby growth. She was completely developed, everything is fine, but she was just smaller than the growth curve. So we were going to the doctors wanted to induce her by 37 to 39 weeks. And because I'm a doula and I'm a yoga instructor, I've always dreamed of doing a natural birth, very holistic and very, down to earth, kind of earthy type of girl. So my dream was to have a birth at home, a water birth, and blah, 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 and all natural. And from the beginning, this was already changed because of my condition, the IUGR. I had to be going to the hospital, to the doctor, and monitoring, and I was not going to a birth center as I wanted. I was not having a midwife as I wanted. But as a yoga instructor and a surfer as well, I know how to just go with the flow. So because I had 2 miscarriages before, I was just going with the flow. And if you watch the entire episodes, all the episodes of Rocking the Pregnancy, you can see throughout the entire pregnancy, I documented everything. And I didn't have any expectations. I was hoping she would come naturally, but I actually didn't know. And even by the end, I thought that I was going to have to go to an induction because they wanted to do an induction between 37 to 39 weeks. And I pushed the doctor to just wait until 39. But by 37 weeks, my water started to get low in my amniotic fluid was low, so they were really watching. They wanted to induce her earlier and everything. And interestingly enough, on the first day of the full moon, her name is Lua, her name is Moon in Portuguese. The first day of the full moon, December 1st, I started having contractions. And I was thrilled. That was what I was praying for, to just go on labor naturally. I was also, even after deciding to give birth at a hospital, I was hoping to have an orgasmic birth. So one of the episodes I explain about an orgasmic birth, and you can watch and get a more detailed explanation. But short summary, it doesn't mean that you're going to have an orgasm when you're giving birth, but I wanted to have my husband there with me and supporting, and us being very centered and very focused, and just, holding each other, loving each other, kissing, just like very present. And the same privacy that we were having when we were conceiving her, kind of have the same type of privacy, even though I was at a hospital setting. When you are focused, you zoom out everything. So even if I was going to be at a hospital, I was meditating every day, and that's what I wanted, to just be very private and focused on what I was going through, and have me and my husband there together, just supporting each other. And this is what I'm here to talk about. It happened exactly how I envisioned. lucky of me. Maybe I was preparing throughout this entire pregnancy, and maybe it was part of luck, part of preparation. Maybe it was the full moon pushing the water to break. I don't know. But luckily enough, December 1st, I started having contractions around 6:30 a.m. And we walked around, like I woke him up and my water broke around 8 a.m. And we went for a walk, we walked the dog, we actually went across the street. There is a baby doctor. How do you call baby doctor? Escape my mind. Pediatrician. There was a pediatrician, so we needed to go and visit pediatricians. So we walked to the pediatrician and did an interview as I was having contractions. And we got home around 10 a.m. and I decided, okay, I think it's time. The contractions were already less than 5 minutes away. You can watch the whole thing on my video, my last video. And we went to the hospital, and as we got to the hospital, the contractions got stronger, and I progressed really fast from noon to 2 p.m. I was already almost 4 centimeters dilated, and from like 2 to 3:58, I dilated completely and had her naturally. So it was an incredible experience. It was painful, I'm not gonna lie. And it was funny because now I was putting in practice everything that I teach. I was very focused. I didn't care at all what was going on around me. I don't even remember much of what was going on. I was within myself. All I wanted was to feel Mac, my husband, by my side. Her heart rate was dropping through each contraction. So the doctors were coming in and out and were very concerned. They already had a C-section room planned, the OR, the NICU was all there. They were really, really concerned. But as I was progressing really fast and in between contractions, her heart rate would stabilize. So they allowed me to just continue. And they wanted me to be laying down. I couldn't stay laying down because my back would hurt too much. So I wanted to stand up. I wanted to squat. And they were kind of difficult about that because they needed to be monitoring her heart. So I took matters into my own hand. I got them heart monitor and just held it. And I squatted down and I peed on a little bucket down. And then I squatted on the bed. And that was mostly my position. Squatting on my knees actually, and like doing a cat and cow position and coming and sitting in between my heels the whole time. That's how I progressed really fast. And it was an incredible experience. I was just went into this zone and just focused in what I was doing. There was a time which I know that this is this is like all the doula clients, all my clients go through this, and everybody goes through this. There is a time of doubt when you think, oh my God, can I really do this? And I looked at my husband, the doctor looked at me and said, oh, okay, so you are about 4 centimeters dilated. I predict that you're going to have her around 11 p.m. And I looked at my husband and I said, I don't think I can do this until 11 p.m. So I looked at him and I said, I think I might want an epidural. And he's looking at me, he's like, you told me to tell you when this comes to wait a little bit longer. And that's what I tell my clients. Just wait. You're doing great. Just take one at a time. If you need, it's right there for you, but you're doing great. And that's what he told me. And I'm thinking, oh, here it comes, the doula conversation. But he did amazing. I actually, went through that one, and I didn't think about the time or nothing. He just kept on telling me, you're doing great, you're doing amazing, just one at a time, don't focus on the time, don't focus at the clock. And all of a sudden, less than an hour later, I dilated a lot and I was up to 10 centimeters and I was ready to push. Now, it was not orgasmic on the way that I had an orgasm, but at the same time, it was, because I felt the rush of all the hormones through my body when I finally pushed her out, and they had to resuscitate her for a few minutes there, for a few moments, because she was really tiny. She was born 4 pounds and 2 ounces, and but as soon as they got her moving and they got her little squeaky noises out, I begged them to put her in my chest, and I have her in my chest, and it was the most amazing experience ever. I was totally aware. I was totally conscious of every single part of my body. Nothing was numb. She was aware. She was sucking on my boob right away, even though she didn't have the chance to breastfeed at that time because she was weak still, and they didn't let her stay there for too long because they had to take her to the NICU right away. It was just amazing, and it was really an orgasmic experience. And if I have some advice for anybody that is trying to have a natural birth, I will do a top 10 advices for natural birth in the next video. But number one is prepare through the entire pregnancy or even before. It's through yoga and exercise. You have to have the strength to be on a squat for 2, 3, 4 hours or more. You have to be able to do it, because if you don't have the conditions in your body, if your body is not strong enough, if your quadriceps are not strong enough, if your stretch is not enough, if you don't have that ability to move in those certain positions, you will get tired and you will have to lay down. And laying down is not a great position to give birth. Just laying down, it hurts. When I was laying down, they told me to lay down, and I had to lay down every time they would check me. When I was laying down, it would really, really hurt. It would hurt even more. I feel like I was having back labor. And I would tell them, I cannot stay on this position. And they tell me, no, you have to, because she's in distress. And I said, I don't care. I'm in distress. She's going to be in even more distress. So I had to kneel down in bed and sit in between my heels and kind of squat a little bit and go into my hands and knees and be rocking back and forward on my hands and knees and just putting the weight more on my belly, the less than in my back. This is not your position of birth, but there are different positions that you will have to intuitively try and see what works for you. And once you find that position, you're kind of gonna want to stay there for a little bit. And if you don't have the conditions in your body, if you don't have the strength, if you don't have the ability to stay in the position, you're going to get tired. So number one tip is to really exercise, do yoga throughout the entire pregnancy, 2 to 3 times per week. I did every single day. I did squats, I did normal yoga, I didn't do any hot yoga, and I didn't do any crazy postures. Didn't need to do any headstands or nothing. It was totally unnecessary. But I did a lot of hip openers. I did a lot of squatting. I strengthened my quadriceps. I strengthened my glutes. I really kept on opening my hips. And I think that was part of what made me progress really fast and dilate really fast, because I was squatting through the pregnancy and I was squatting through the birth. Another thing that I think is very essential that you also get through practicing yoga is the focus, the meditation, and the ability to not only focus on what you're doing, ability to zoom out everything out, to tune out, to not focus on whatever is going on outside. If the doctors are concerned or whatever, that doesn't matter. They're going to take care of whatever they need. Your job, my job, was to just be inside of my body. My husband was there to deal with decisions or whatever and talk to me or be there as the stressor. My goal was not to stress whatsoever. And I think I did that very good. I was not afraid at all. I had not one inch of fear in my body. Even though at the moment that I said, I don't think I can do this until 11, it was not fear, it was just pain. And I knew I could do it. I knew I was doing it already. I just didn't know if I could do that work of labor for another 12 hours. And people do that for 12 hours and they do it naturally. So there's always a little bit of doubt that we have. So it's good to have also another tip, having someone there that really believes in you. And my husband was there that really believed in me. I wanted my parents to be there too, but my mom at least, but there was no time. I don't remember even thinking of trying to call anyone. My husband was the one to connect to the people. I was just gone. And that's important. You need to be there to just focus on what's going on. I was focused on her heartbeat and just the feelings that I was having one after another, and just going through it and relaxing my body. And I think this was what made my progress go so quickly and everything go so well. She was born tiny because of the intrauterine growth restriction, the IUGR. So she had to stay for about a week at the NICU. But she is doing amazing. We are finally home. And another great thing about doing natural birth, I produced a lot of milk. My hormones were very active and everything was going normal through the natural process, and I had a lot of colostrum right away. And so I just been breastfeeding her, and she's been gaining a lot of weight, and in a week she already gained a pound. She's about 5 pounds right now, and she is the most precious gift ever. And I'm here to tell you this story. So stick around. This is just a little short 16, 17 minutes story of my orgasmic natural birth at the hospital. You can do it too. But if it doesn't happen, you have to just be accepting. I would be accepting if I had to go and do induce her or whatever I had to do. You know, even throughout the birth, even throughout that labor process, there was a point that the doctor was really, really concerned. And I remember my husband asking him, is this normal, doctor? And he said, no, it's not normal. You guys wanted to push the envelope. You wanted to have a natural birth. So here we are. Her heart rate is dropping, but in between her heart rate is recuperating. So I'm trying to give you guys a chance to do this, but it's not normal. I have everything ready, and I have the C-section room ready. And I remember listening to this, and I told the doctor, listen, if you feel that we need to go to a C-section, I don't mind. Let's just do it. I just want the best for her. And he said, no, you're doing great. Let's check you one more time. And maybe if you're ready to push, we'll try it right now. And that was the time, actually. He checked me and I was 10 centimeters dilated. He looked at me and he said, oh my goodness, I think you can do this. Push one time. And I pushed a couple times, and he could see her head and he could see her in there in the birth canal. And he said, I'm more excited than you guys are. I think you're going to do this. So let's do it. And that excitement that he had gave me strength, and I pushed with the strength of the world in there that I couldn't even believe I had it. So there was a moment there that it was a conversation about going to a C-section, and I was not afraid, whatever I needed to do. So my other advice is that you guys really accept whatever it is. We have our plans, we have our dreams. I was lucky enough to have my dream birth at a hospital setting, but I'm so glad that I was there too, because she was getting the best care that she needed at that moment. And I'm glad that I was not at home, because it would not turn out good. But, you know, we have to, like I said in my last video, have hopes and goals, but not have expectations. You know, we have aspirations, but not expectations, and go with the flow and readapt like chameleons, you know, whatever, like surfers, whatever the wave comes, how big is the wave, how rough is the sea, you gotta pick the right board and just surf it. And here we are, we're healthy, we're strong. I felt amazing right away, and here I want to introduce you to my little munchkin pie right there, Lua Marisol, right there, my little Lua. So stay tuned for the top 10 advices for having a orgasmic, natural childbirth at a hospital setting. And if you like this video, if you're interested on see how I did the entire pregnancy or watch prenatal videos for first trimester, second trimester, third trimester, I also have music for babies and all the 9 yards and everything you might imagine. Whatever inspires me, I'm doing it. So you can check out Rocking the Pregnancy or just follow me, karinasky.com, or follow me on YouTube channel. And if you have anything that you want to comment or any questions, just comment down there and I'll try to answer right away. All right? Thank you so much. My name is Karina Sky, and now I'm rocking motherhood and rocking the baby. So stay tuned for our next show. Thank you. Have a great day.